going down? It's your boy Cookbook.
You already know, man. The motherfucker Felipe's Garage Podcast. Conway the Machine.
The Butcher coming, nigga.
It's your man Fonte. It's the rapper Big Pooh. We are Little Brother live in effect, and you are tuned in to Felipe's Garage.
Yo, this is Guy in the Beat representing the Boogie Down Bronx, the Digging in the Crates crew, right here on Felipe's Garage. Real hip hop.
Yes, y'all. This is Bracy Lou, rocking with Felipe's Garage.
Jose from the Mighty Souls Initiative crew, Hieroglyphics in effect. We doing it big in Felipe's Garage. We got the fire up right quick. Close that garage door.
Yo, this is Locksmith, and right now you're watching Felipe's Garage.
Yo, this is straight live action, General Fever.
Right here, Buckshot. You already know y'all chilling with the illest podcast, Felipe's Garage.
Fuck it.
DJ EFN, Crazy Up Productions, One Half a Drink Champ, and I don't know why I just did Felipe's Garage. I'm out of here.
First of all, who want come test we? We be the Garage. What's up, y'all? Felipe's Garage back in effect, snapping a neck and cashing a check.
There it
with
is.
a passionate set every day, all day.
Boars.
Got my man E. Green back from DC. Back talking about fuck the government. Came back on some PE shit. And I'm not talking about physical education. Due to knowledge, son. King is in a fisheye because he knows Big Brother is watching him. You know what I'm saying? And Nestor got his hat down low. Why? Because he's always scoping out the scene. You don't even know what he's thinking. If the eyes are the windows to the soul, he ain't letting you see shit. He's always on his job, yo. And me, I'm just a clown-ass nigga talking shit up in the lounge, up in the garage, and everywhere else. What's up, guys? I be doing these intros, and I never quite know what I'm going to say. I just try to black out, and then that's what comes out, man.
Just now.
And I'm like, oh, shit, hey, what's up, guys? So what happened? Where am I? Anyway, we back again. We got a whole bunch of shit for today, man. We'll see if we can even get to all of it, man. We got a special guest coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for the next 3 weeks, we got some contributors that finally stepped up to the plate and said, we want to come on the pod.
Nice.
So 3 more weeks of Zoom, and then maybe no more Zoom, right, E. Green?
Y'all welcome.
We'll see.
No COVID zone over there.
No COVID, son. And we have to see how many protesters get sick first, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, shit, man. Maybe we hold off on that for another month or so.
Teddy Riley over here and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Dang.
Stop. Teddy Riley fires back. Let me chill.
I know, bro. King is trying to battle Babyface right now up in the studio, setting shit up.
So I'm gonna play guitar
Anyway,
over there and shit.
It looks so legit in there.
I know, that's dope, bro. King always got the good backdrops, yo. Except for King got that blue-ass wall back there, bro.
Blue
What's up
wall.
with that blue,
Instead of
Who got a blue wall?
You got a
like
blue
that.
wall, cuz. What up, though?
I like
cuz?
that blue.
Oh, right.
I like
Yeah.
that blue.
what's that?
Well, you know, my uncle is he's one that started OG Harvard Gangsta Crip.
Bow down to a player that is greater.
Yeah, this is all his
Shut
shit.
up right now.
He's all about the blue, baby. He's all.
This
about
is
the blue.
crimson, my nigga. This ain't red. This crimson.
Oh, hey,
Let's
nigga,
keep it
same.
legit.
It's the same
Crimson.
thing.
Crimson.
Burgundy, all that. That's all.
Crimson just
That's
sounds
all
hard.
Damu, homie.
Damn.
All that. It is.
That's
Sorry.
a
Sorry.
hard name for a color. That's a hard name for a color. Crimson.
Crimson.
Hey, what color is your shirt, man? Crimson.
Yeah,
It just
right.
sounds dope, bro.
I call
Anyway.
myself a Crimson Crip.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so don't mind me.
No, but I do.
Yeah, my man E. Green is delirious. He just got off a plane. He ain't high, y'all. He's delirious from jet lag. You like that? Yeah,
Damn,
he
this
was
was
already
the,
tripping pre-pod.
This is the very first time that I actually felt nauseous on a flight, yo. And I done, took a couple of flights.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck, yo? But anyway, wasn't no turbulence or nothing. I'm sitting there like, what the? Maybe it was that mask. Maybe it was the mask because I never.
You had to wear the mask the whole
You have
flight,
to
huh?
wear it the whole time.
Whole flight unless you're drinking or eating.
Yep.
Did they serve food and drink? Did they serve food and drink?
Serve,
This nigga got some bomb shit.
Oh well, when you move your seat up, different benefits.
Yeah, you wasn't playing on that flight.
No, fuck that. 5 hours, yo, fuck that. But
you a bougie.
Water, Coke, Diet Coke, and if you sit up front, you get beer or wine. So a lager, excuse me, some kind of lager or a nice little wine.
This nigga was sipping on Cabernet.
I know, bro.
I was sipping on some ginger ale, man, and fucking nigga
King.
Tomato juice and shit. Nigga, I think I had a ginger snap. One ginger snap, nigga. I think I had one ginger snap.
Yeah. This fool Green said he don't like Migos, but he was sitting up front talking about he bad and bougie up there.
Wow.
Hell yeah, nigga.
Hey, if it fits, it fits.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
How was it breathing with the mask the whole 5 hours?
I think that's what made me nauseous. Not that my breath stinks, as there's 100 jokes there, but
right.
From just having that shit on your face the whole time, yo. It was, because I got with this shit with the filter in it and all that, and
And the flight attendants did too. They had them on the whole time.
Yo. Yeah. Oh shit! I gotta tell you what I did though. So there was 3 flights. There was one going over, and then coming back, I had to go up to Seattle, and then come here. And on the way from DC to Seattle, there was a lady, because I was, like I said, up there. So you had 3 seats. They kept the middle one empty, and you just had me by the window, her in the aisle. And she's sitting there just chilling. All on her phone, guess what? No mask. So I hit her with the white man. I looked at the stewardess. I hit her with the stewardess. I was like, yeah.
So you Karen her. You was a Karen.
Yo,
you was a Karen on that.
No, I didn't go that far. But I waved her down, pointed at my mask, and then pointed at that lady like, let's get it. It was a
right.
She was not. No, I ain't calling the police on black people, so it wasn't a black lady.
Right. But you did Tekashi 6ix9ine her, so right, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, yo, fuck yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah.
We talking COVID, nigga. She sitting here like, you ain't gotta wear no mask? Stand by me? Fuck out of here, yo. And then,
and especially like, if I gotta wear the mask, fuck that.
But in the times that we're in, I figured if I say something to her myself, I might get kicked off the plane with my mask on. You know what I'm saying?
Truth.
So I was like, no, fuck that. I got to get back here so I could be on this podcast. So I went ahead and let the people do what they do. Fuck that.
That's it.
How they handle it? How they handle it?
The lady walked over to her. She kneeled and was like, we really need you to put your mask on. And I'm looking straight, but I'm a peripheral. I'm like, get that bitch. What did you thought that this was?
Yeah.
Private shit?
I don't know what in the fuck they thought that this was, Steve Queen.
Put your shit on.
All right, let's get through this shit, man. We got a guest coming up. So, this is Felipe's Garage. You can follow us at Felipe's Garage on Instagram. Find us on Facebook at the same. And then jump in our Felipe's Garage Mechanics Lounge. Please, for Nesto's sake, watch us on YouTube. Subscribe and like our shit. E Green, did they do any reviews with WTF this week? Could you look that up for me while we chat?
They did. I can tell you off top.
Yes.
Are you talking about something different?
No, remember we asked them to do reviews on the. We got some WTFs.
You got a bunch. All of them were WTFs.
Thank you.
I think there's one.
That's what I'm talking about. The mechanics came through. Yep. I'm feeling that. All right. So thank you. Keep liking and subscribing. Keep sharing the pod because it helps a lot. And keep contributing. I really appreciate you guys giving dough, man. It really, really does help us keep it going. It really does. And so we appreciate it. And we don't have time to run through names, but there's a bunch of new names of people who've been contributing to the pod. We ask for $1 per episode. That's it. And a lot of you are starting to be consistent. People are asking me if I could like bill them. Like I have to figure out in PayPal how they could just get like a monthly deduction and shit. I was like, damn, that's respect, man. So I appreciate that. Because of that, we, one of the perks we said is people could jump on and join us for the pod, right? So we're in a little bit. We got an upcoming guest, bro. So we'll talk about him in a minute. But let's talk a little bit about our weeks and what went down. Any major things on the precipice, which I learned that word from my man King a couple weeks ago. Anything on the forefront that we need to address? Any nerd shit? Any hip hop shit? I mean, there's a hip hop shit that I want to talk about with E Green especially.
Oh shit!
But
I got some nerd shit. I got some nerd shit.
Come with it. I got some nerd shit too. What you got? Go ahead, E.
I had a great fucking week. It all culminated with Father's Day.
Of course.
And that's
Happy
why
Father's
my
Day,
ass
my G.
went to Happy Father's Day to you, sir, of us fathers on this shit.
Yeah.
Salute.
Respect, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I went to DC, because my daughter's mandated that I come home for Father's Day instead of bringing them out here.
What's up?
So I spent 4 days there, and I felt like I really miss DC. I really do.
Wow.
I miss it. I don't want to go back.
Yo.
I miss it. I lived 30 years there, yo. You know what I'm saying? So it was home.
I love when you be posting them videos of like the DC slang and shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's just give us a couple, man. What are some of your favorites? Because I like, damn, bro, that slang is wild.
So you want me to curry it like this? I was talking to Duro and them, and then Curran came by and was talking some shit about we can't be talking here. And I'd have really just went up in her joint, you know what I'm saying? But no, I was like, fuck that, shorty. Kill Mo.
Wow.
Oh my God, bro. That shit is so dope.
And I'm over here picturing what does that look like in writing if it was in script form? Niggas would be like, I need a translator.
Somebody posted something that said, "Stop killing us, Mo," or something that was pure DC written on one of the protests out there. It was
on a sign.
I was like, wow, he literally used DC speaking that shit.
Yeah, it's funny.
Man.
DC's got a vibe to it, and I think I always feel like there's things that on an internal basis that affect things on the outward basis. You know what I mean? And I think because it's a district all unto itself, it kind of perpetuates the mentality of everything being self-sovereign. You know what I mean? So even, you see what I'm saying? So even the slang is its own. Like go-go, man, is its own. That don't originate anywhere else. There's a lot of things about DC. When it comes to Black people, I should say, that is very its own, you know?
It's one of the fucked up places. If you got a barbecue, you try to eat a hot dog, you don't get clowned for eating a glizzy. So
a glizzy.
Go eat a
Check out this glizzy, son. That sounds like some Ghostface shit.
What's a glizzy?
It's a hot dog.
It's a
He
guy.
was on the block eating
Getting
glizzies.
clowned for eating
I
hot
pulled out my glizzies.
Is it because it's phallic or what?
Exactly.
That's okay.
Exactly.
Phallic.
Glizzy.
Don't get caught eating a glizzy, son.
That's glizzy.
All right, well, let's get to that nerd shit. Nesto, what's up? What you got?
Homie, listen. Dude, there was an announcement. I don't know if you know this. You probably know this too. There was an announcement that Michael Keaton is in talks to reprise his role as Batman in the upcoming Flash movie.
I'm with that.
In the upcoming Flash movie, bro.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
Now, okay, this could go off in so many different directions, but I'm trying to think in terms of canon, you know, which is mainly I've heard that word used in the Star Wars universe. But what is canon if we're carrying over the Flash character that's from the Justice League movies, right? Or movie that they have. That guy's spin-off movie is now going to have the Batman that we all grew up on.
That's wild.
I like it.
Did
because
Michael
it's like
Keaton
some
only do one, or did he do
interdimensional
2
travel.
movies?
Huh?
Did Michael Keaton do 1 or 2 movies?
He did two. He did two.
He did 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So
And what was
dope,
that Birdman movie he did? That shit was dope as fuck.
So dope, dude. Yeah.
What was it
that
called?
Was so dope.
The Bird or some shit?
It was
What was it
Birdman.
called?
It's called Birdman.
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 That
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
was
yeah.
so good, bro. That's so wild, bro.
Crazy.
No.
Yo,
So that's big. And then there's rumors Tobey Maguire is possibly going to be in the Doctor Strange one. Doctor
Oh
Strange
my
2.
God.
Because
No.
Sam Raimi, who directed his Spider-Man movies, is directing the new Doctor Strange movie. And so they might do the multiverse. They might do like the whole, possibly, I mean, I hear rumors of them bringing Andrew Garfield and having all of it.
Yeah,
They just need a Miles Morales.
Have you heard the one about Black Panther?
Uh-uh.
They had a
don't do
meeting.
it.
They had a meeting with Beyonce.
Oh.
And the rumor is that they might be courting her or whatever to play Storm in
Oh yeah. I heard that.
She'd be a good Storm, you know. I think aesthetically.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, every concert
Well, I mean,
she's
she's
got
got
that
the
wind
eyes.
blowing on her hair.
She's got the eyes. You know what I mean? That I could see that aesthetically. I actually better than what's her name?
Oh,
when you
Halle
go
Berry. He said, "What's her name?" Halle Berry.
Halle
You must
Berry.
have the baddest women on earth.
Yo,
if you're saying,
shut
"What's
the fuck
her name?"
up. So is fucking
on her name, yo.
So is Beyonce, okay? Beyonce's one of the baddest black bitches on the planet. Let's not front. So I think, I'm with that. She looks more like Storm than
What do you
Halle
think of
Berry
her
does.
acting?
She's got the hazel eyes and everything. That makes.
What do you think of her acting? The singing
Oh,
temptations,
you know, we're not
and so
gonna go.
forth.
The acting is not. I don't know. I don't know about that.
So do you want
I
eye
have to take some
candy,
lessons,
or
but-
do you want eye candy, or do you want a good ass movie?
I think start with the eye candy and get her acting game up. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's dope. Say something.
Okay, here's what I would say. I would say pretend that there are other black women on the planet that are dope and actresses and pick from that pool and not distract us with fucking Beyonce and all her baggage that mostly is dope, but it's still baggage to a world that we don't need. We don't need that intense amount of judgment and looking and like everyone scoping on her acting. That's what they'll be doing, dude, because mostly people are upset hearing that shit. The fan community is not excited. Why can't they fucking go to Africa and pick a dope-ass actress that has the accent already and just do it, dude? Give us a dope girl that we've never seen. They're about to... Don't they realize most of us are married to all that we've seen before? The best way to do it is not replace them with other stars that we can go, oh man. I feel like start from scratch with some dope new people that we all have no judgment on. Then we have a different vested interest. You know what I mean?
Which is why I said yes to Beyonce, because here's why. Not I hear what you're saying, but she's the closest thing aesthetically to what we used to see
as
far
star.
as Storm goes. You see what I'm saying? But see, listen, we know the game that Hollywood plays. They always playing star power. So that's what they're going for, man. And we can complain about it all day. They're still going to keep doing that shit because psychologically it works in every, box office.
I can see.
And they're also playing like the negotiation game, probably with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Because it's Disney. It's all money behind the scenes, and who's gonna get the most eyes on a person, because of the fan base they already carry. It's all that bullshit, bro. The creative side is almost done when it comes to like these big movies.
Yeah, but whoever they pick, honestly, like as long as it's dope, it's not. At the end of the day, it's not gonna matter. So like, but here's what I think Nestle's trying to say. When you pick Beyonce, now the challenge is getting the audience to not see Beyonce.
Oh, no. 100%.
That's the challenge.
Yeah. And it's too distracting.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm kind of parsing the issue.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
parsing
kind of like
a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because she does, like I said, and I already said it. She looks most out of anyone they picked, she looks the most like Storm. She's going to be distracting with her bad acting. You know, we're going to see Beyonce. You know, but I was just bringing out that one point. So maybe, I mean, here's the thing: you can't make someone. I guess you could with makeup, but she looks naturally close. So just work on her acting game. And maybe we might have.
But not only acting game, accent game. Because even how
the whole
failed at the accent game.
Well, she never even tried, I don't think.
Yeah, she just talked regular.
I think I heard it in a couple of little scenes that said fuck it.
Yeah. They got videos of that where they show where she has it a little bit and then she just fades out of for the rest
and then she's like, I'm about to fuck you up with this lightning, motherfucker. Like, oh, sorry.
By the way, I found out what was behind that bullshit ass line she did with the
frog line?
The frog, yeah.
Oh God.
Do you know what's behind that?
Nah.
Okay, this is why she said it. No, but see, this is bad editing. You know, you need to pay attention to the editing. Usually when shit like that is like comes out of nowhere, it's usually because the editor or the director doesn't go back and look at the edits. But what was happening was, what's that dude's name? The frog guy. I forgot his name.
I forget his name.
Yeah. The actor or the character?
No, the character.
Whatever his name is.
Toad. It was Toad.
Toad. That's it. Yeah, Toad.
Yeah.
So when he throughout the movie, he had a catchphrase that was supposed to be, you know what happens when. See what I'm saying? But they cut all those lines out. They edited all those out. So when it came to that line, it should have been all of those, you know, when
it's like the payoff. It was like the punchline to a joke that was never told.
That was never told. Yeah. So that's why I was
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's like, why the fuck would she that? Well, yeah.
No context at all. We don't need context. Fuck it. Just let her say some stupid shit and barbecue that motherfucker.
Yeah, but
who cares?
But the rumor is that they did not. The director didn't check the edit, or else he would have caught that and had that removed.
You think?
Well, they would have, you know,
I know.
replaced it.
No,
they would have not had her say anything. Yeah.
Yeah, just cut that line. Just let her fuck him up and keep it pushing, bro. Because that's arguably the worst line in every Marvel movie. That's probably could be the worst line.
But see, it would have been dope had Toad had his lines, right? So okay.
Yeah, it would have been
King with the inside edition and shit.
Ooh, King dropping that knowledge.
Nesto wasn't saying shit about Beyonce.
That's right. Nesto. You should have known that nerd knowledge, Nesto.
Nesto's right. And Nesto's right in everything he's saying. I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I just
y'all just reminded me I got an email that says you and Nesto are right. So I'm gonna read it.
Oh shit.
It's from the homie Mike P, actually. He came back with another one. No raps, bro. No raps this time. He just says, yo. He just says, yo, King and Nesto, y'all are right. That's how he started the email. Wow. I was misunderstanding what you were meaning about the COVID conspiracies. Sorry about that. Because when I read his last email, y'all just went in on that. And he just was giving it to him hard. Sorry about that, he says. Thanks for setting it straight for your boy. So he talks about some shit about gaming and the new PlayStation and Spider-Man Miles Morales game coming out and a Star Wars game coming out.
Yeah.
We don't talk a lot about games, but it's dope. I mean, I'm into it, but I steer clear of video games because I got shit to do. And if I start playing video games, I go all in. I told y'all the last real video game I played was Guitar Hero, and I was up late fucking doing this shit, playing Guitar Hero. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning after playing for months. Like I was already like on hard mode and everything. And I stopped and I said, I'm literally not doing music because I'm playing a game about doing music. I was like, fuck video games. And I just got rid of all that shit. So now, like I be seeing shit I want to play and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. Fuck that. They're dropping a new Tony Hawk Underground. They're like re-releasing the Tony Hawk video games. I'm like, nope. I can't because I'll get lost in some shit like that. I'll be seeing like my nephews and shit playing Fortnite and shit. I'm like, damn, that's kind of tight. And then I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. Because I get lost too much in that shit.
It will suck you in, bro.
Yeah.
I tell you what, too. Going back to the Spider-Man game, I forget what number it is, but I got some homies who have that game for their kids. That game is hard.
That's what I'm saying. They're too dope.
Fuck, it's hard. It is hard as fuck.
Dude.
Like just the dexterity of it and the moves he makes and how he can swing and how you can control him. It's just insane. It's so fluid.
Yeah.
And the kids are just there like, you know, nigga, they ain't even moving their heads. They're just like,
yeah.
I'm just like, nigga.
They're not even impressed.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. It's like,
I know, we're like blown away.
Yeah, you can take you can grab something, like somebody can throw something, you can grab it out of the sky, turn it around, like grab it with the web, spin around and throw it. And it just knocks 5 or 6 niggas down. It's crazy. And he's mad strong in the video game too. He can like lift tanks and shit. Like,
y'all talking to somebody who was a teenager when Pong came out.
Yeah.
We on this shit now.
This MLK nigga.
MLK nigga.
Yeah.
As he was alive. Yeah, Pong, huh? Damn, son. What's up with some Pac-Man, yo?
Mike Tyson knockout. What the fuck, bro?
I'm all about the Pong, homie. Pong was bad.
They look real now, though. That means look like real people.
I know, it's like you're playing with like Venus and Serena.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
But not even video. It's like real, like video. It's like a video.
Right.
Yeah. Like that way you doing that shit. Yeah, man. So unless anybody's got anything, I want to bring this guy in, man. He's got a few questions for us. He wants to play us a song. Get our opinion on it.
Shit.
So I'm gonna bring him in.
You gonna get
so this is the homie, John Longwalker.
Go get the real.
For those of you who might not remember, my man Longwalker, here he's connected to audio. Look at he's looking like, oh shit, we coming in.
What up?
What up? Check. Go ahead and talk. Let's see if we can
dimly lit.
Go ahead and talk. You're a little glitchy.
Oh, nigga, you in that?
You're a little glitchy.
No.
All right, pop out and pop back in. And I'm gonna give you a fire ass intro. Fire.
All right.
Wait. You sound good. Hold on.
Oh,
you sounded good at the last second. That's John Longwalker. He did a remix for when we had our remix contest for the Jason Soto EP, and he was one of the only ones that got a unanimous vote from all 4 of us. When we heard that shit, all of us were just like, So, you know, he's an aspiring musician. He decided to, he's been contributing since we put the call out to contribute. He's been contributing. So he finally said, I'm going to jump in. And he said, his email said, I want all the smoke. So, hey, business up in here, bro. We're going to get him the business, yo. But anyway, we'll bring him in right now.
Dude,
let's. And if we have time after, I think we will have time. We're going to do a little Who Wore Best tonight. Ooh.
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys both picked some fire-ass picks. I love the ones you guys pick. And hopefully you'll like the one I picked, man. I got 2, so I'm going to give y'all a choice, and we'll see what y'all pick.
You know, honestly, I tried to come up with something really fucking goofy this time. Just to kind of raise my mood. But I couldn't find one.
No, you found a dope one. And I was trying.
No, I found a dope one. I was going for goofy, like something that you guys wouldn't have expected.
I was going to go for like a really, really well-known sample and just see what y'all thought. But like the ones I was picking were like too well-known. It's like 386 artists have sampled this. I'm like, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then, you know what? A lot of those well-known ones, it's like the main person who sampled it, it's almost always going to win. You know what I mean? It's like when we did the sample for Ain't No Half Step.
The first person?
Yeah, maybe the first or the most famous. Like when we did the Ain't No Half Stepping sample, the Blind Alley sample, it's like I couldn't even put Big Daddy Kane in the mix. I had to go to the 2 next ones because he's gonna win every time.
He's gonna win. Oh yeah, for sure.
So a lot of times with the sample, you know, with like the big samples, like any James Brown or like any of that shit, it's like, well, if Public Enemy sample, they're probably gonna win it, or you know what I mean?
Dope, nice.
You can change the scenery.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, you sound a lot better.
So sweet, man. Yeah, I plugged straight into the router, so that should help.
Oh yeah, you sound great now.
Sup,
All right, man, what's
JL?
up? Got my man John Longwalker in the house.
Yeah. What's going on, guys?
You are officially the first person to take the challenge up to jump in for a few minutes with us, man.
All right, man. I hope you got plenty of logs to throw on this fire right here.
Oh shit! Well, speaking of fire, I got your fire queued up. Whenever you ready to play it, I'm ready to play your song too. We could do that towards the end.
Hold up. You got to tell a little bit about yourself before.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. So, who in the what is John Longwalker? All right. Yeah. So I'm one of them damn millennials. 36, going on 37. Guys forget how old we are these days.
We're right on the cusp, the beginning of like the first generation.
Yeah. Paved the path. But yeah, I mean, like, man, like I remember I found out I was a hipster back in 2009. We're out on a porch. I went to Evergreen. I don't know if you guys know about Evergreen State College out in Washington, but it was founded in like 1969. There was a whole like we can get into that later about the whole day of absence, day of presence thing.
The Brett Weinstein shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah, shit was crazy. But anyway, so we're standing out on this porch and he's like, John, you're talking all this shit about hipsters, man. Like, have you ever considered the fact that we're sitting here drinking craft beer on a porch in Portland? Like, gentrifying this neighborhood? Like, you're a fucking hipster, man. Once I accepted it, you know, I was like, all right. And it was funny is I think there was like a moment of consciousness change because hipsters just stopped talking shit about hipsters at that moment. And, you know, we moved on.
See, I think what it is you're in a hip hop mindset. And
that's true.
Hipsters, even though their name includes hip, they're not hip hop. You know what I mean?
True.
Traditionally, they're not. I mean, they are now. You got hip hop hipsters now.
Yeah, it's not that they don't fuck with it.
Hipster hoppers.
But anyway, I don't primarily define myself as a hipster. I'm just saying that it's part of the genetics. I mean, the experience. So I was born in Boulder, Colorado, but around 8 years old, we moved to Westchester, Pennsylvania, outside of Philly. Yeah, man, Pennsylvania. Oh, shit, man. But those suburbs, man, are... Anyway, so I was fucking up pretty bad around 15, 16. And my parents were like, they had the money, so they sent me up north to Vermont to go to a private school up there. It turned out to be, it was founded in 1918 by a communist feminist named Carmelita Hinton. Mm-hmm. And the students all built like the whole school by hand, like while they were living there, going to school. You go to like, you have a farm job 6 days a week. You gotta like, you have a 6-day work job that cycles through different things. So you can, you know, washing up after everybody, cooking meals, crazy kind of experience, you know, but it kind of fucks you up going into the real world. Cause that was like closer to paradise than most people get to live. But, yeah, so anyway, like long story short, I just bounce around between like nature and computers back and forth until I ended up out here in Amsterdam 10 years ago because, yeah, fuck the US, man. I wanted some healthcare.
Okay. You damn hipster.
Nah, for real though, I got like into a master's degree program over here. It was like a year. I mean, it wasn't super cheap, but relative to what it would have cost in the US, I mean, it was crazy. And then I just never left.
Amsterdam is dope as fuck.
Wow. It is, man. It is. It's a really crazy little city. But sometimes I'm thinking about it. I'm walking around. It's all beautiful. I'm like, man, this is all built out of the blood of empire. You know what I mean? Like, shit's crazy. Like, just down the street is the Tropen Museum. It's the museum where they have like, they're trying to kind of teach the history of all these places that they colonized, but it's in the building of the former East Indies, the Dutch East Indies Company. So it's like it's, I don't know, man. It's just a crazy, like, you know, it's interesting that you can take that like horrible legacy and then try to build something new with it, you know. But that shit got hit in the protests too. People were spray painting the Tropa Museum and stuff. I mean, you know, it's real. I mean, it's a beautiful ass city, but it's like this bridge, you know, like it's built during the golden era. That gold came from somewhere.
Can I say something real quick? Just
Go ahead.
Right off my tongue, yo.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you and listening to you, and you are like the ultimate white privilege, but you know it. You know it.
I mean, like,
great. That's fucking great. You know
that shit is that shit has been on my mind since I was a young dude, man. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like as soon as I found out the world wasn't fair, like even close to fair, I got pretty pissed off, you know? And it's kind of never like, and then you just kind of, it's like, you open your eyes to that and then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know?
Yeah.
It's happening right now. People's eyes are being opened.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, I'm glad for it because it's like, you can imagine how frustrating it is. Like I've had conversations with people for so many years, man, like decades and decades. And it's just talking to people of my skin tone, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm like, how can you be so fucking blind? And but you know, it is changing, which is nice. I mean, that's actually something I wanted to talk about. Is last week, King was going pretty hard on the genetics talk and shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like the shit you said, like I've definitely heard white people say the exact same thing, just in the opposite direction, you know?
Yeah, underline what specifically.
Oh, the like they're mad because their genes are weak and ours are strong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is like around 2000, during like the Great Awakening of 2015. Like before that, I had no problem just talking shit about white people, saying white people this and all that. And then I started to hear it around. I'm like, yo, that shit hits different than I expected. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it's partly just like, I mean, if I'm tired of this shit, you know what I mean? This is what blows my mind. Like the tiredness I feel is nothing, man. Like compared to somebody living on the other side of it, like for fuck's sake. So. I mean, I get all of that, you know, but like, doesn't make me any less tired, you know? So it's like trying to figure out a better way to discuss it, you know? Cause there's plenty of white crowds that my skin color doesn't just get me into, you know? There's lots and lots of bars, lots and lots of places. Like I walk in, I'm feeling physically unsafe. Now, next to somebody of color, it's not even comparable, you know, but
you were talking about white places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just mean, yeah, I'm hoping we can find like a better way to dialogue about everything because, you know, language is tough and it's hard to talk about something as big as like that type of whiteness, you know, but like, you know, it's just a thing it's on my mind, like hearing people talk about it because of course, like I know you're not necessarily talking about me, but it's like until we have that almost but not all kind of terminology, like everything is all generalizations when we to a certain extent, and it fucks up the dialogue.
If you don't mind me, John, I'm jumping in right here.
Oh, this is NA, by the way. Don't worry.
Wow.
So first of all,
this is not. No.
Yeah, but it is not. It's 10 o'clock where you are. So
okay, let me say this before I forget it.
Yo.
First of all, you are in the position that you're in, and you feel the way that you do. You can use your powers for good.
I'm trying, man.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So just know that from a place of privilege, you can do a lot. Okay, as long as you know you're aware of that and you're willing to do that, you're definitely already by default put in a different category. You're not the one that we're talking about that's fucking up and polluting the game.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is when we do speak, John, we speak in generalization. We can try as much as possible to, parse the issue and make exceptions or describe the exceptions.
Right.
But we can't always be aware of every exception, right, or every context. So we do talk in generalizations, but then we know that there are exceptions that prove the rule. You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Just because, or else you wouldn't be an exception, So just know that you are in the exception category. So don't take anything that doesn't apply to you personally.
Gotcha.
You're not that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say earlier, go ahead. Finish.
No, that was going to say that's mine.
I was going to say earlier that I did appreciate, you wanting to come on and talk and the topics that you suggested. It wasn't just like, hey, check out my music and let's talk about that. It was like, hey, I want to be in this fight and I want to talk about how I can contribute more, be a part of the solution more and stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought that was really dope that you were like, so even starting off like, hey, I know who I am, but fuck it, I'm here. What can we do?
And while we're here, John, it's good. Okay, you have John on there, so I'm assuming it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
I think your background with computers, and music and all of that you can use that as a platform in this fight.
Right.
Now, you know about the whole hashtag thing that happened over the weekend, right?
Nah, man. See, that's the other thing is like so
this is the most awesome. Go ahead.
I stay off of social media like almost like basically all the time. Just to throw it out there, I got diagnosed with ADHD this year. And so that's something I've been living with my whole life, but only just started to find out and get medicated for it.
Right.
So, but just like that pace of social media and even like interacting, it's just like pure social anxiety.
Okay.
So I don't fuck with it.
So I'm going to put you up on game. So they started this new hot hashtag called White Lives Matter.
Oh, God.
Okay. So
they do.
Trip out. It's true.
People are like, oh, okay. This isn't right. But the K-pop community rose up and were like, fuck this shit. And they took over that hashtag. And they did nothing. They posted nothing but K-pop, their favorite K-pop groups, and using little tags like, doing my fight doing my part to fight against this white supremacist racism, and then hashtag White Lives Matter. But go on that hashtag, all you're going to see is K-pop, motherfucker. They just took it over completely. Then they started. Now I saw one when I was looking that up. I saw one that said Blue Lives Matter, and I'm like, oh nigga, hell no. So I don't know if you saw my
blood up
post.
in here, fool.
Yeah, I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a crip ass uncle, but that's my roots. But I grew up around bloods. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around bloods. But that being said, who am I gonna align with at the end of the day? Some Crips or the other gang that says they're here to serve and protect.
Look what the gas man has done.
So I saw this Blue Lives Matter. So I started to do my part in like posting up like Crips and shit. Even Elmo. I put a picture of Elmo like just to clown it a little bit. Michael Jackson hanging out with the Crips and shit. Anyway.
That actually sounds fun, man. Maybe I could probably get into something like that.
So what I'm saying is like something like that is very simple. And to be honest, I caught one today where it was like these motherfuckers are trying to do this hip hop for Trump shit. Now I'm not with it.
Nah, man.
Now nobody really understood where I was going. A lot of people kind of was alarmed by the imagery I used, and I'm like, dude, you're letting that distract you. That's not the point. We're supposed to take over the hashtag, is what I was trying to say. And that use your own imagery, but take over the hashtag.
Yeah, but we see first.
I don't give a shit, nigga. Read. Niggas need to read. I'm serious. This is where
we watch. He don't
This is where
rewatch.
niggas
He
get
gotta go watch
no.
the
Well, look,
picture.
look.
This is where niggas
Wait, King.
get hoodwinked, and I still
No.
I
King,
still rewrote everything.
Hit
No,
the
nigga, I'm
button.
still talking. Hold up. I rewrote everything and reposted everything so that I could get closer to people really understanding what I was saying. I still need to rewrite it.
Okay.
But the point was take over the hashtag.
Okay, so I got you 1 billion on that, right? But when you put up a fucking picture of Trump blowing his head off, you could have said your mama's in the hospital. All I saw was Trump's head blown off, yo.
Okay, see,
but this is me who don't really give a fuck about that shit.
Even with that imagery, it's him blowing his own head off, not some black motherfucker putting a gun to his head and blowing his head off. You see what I'm saying?
I'm trying to help you, brother.
It's suicide. Nigga, I don't need your help, nigga. Look, just
okay.
I'm saying, look at the imagery and what it's saying. Don't get caught up in the graphic.
Yeah, but King, let me jump in now. So
fuck that. He said what he said. He don't need your help either, nigga.
I'm just jumping in. But ain't no help, nigga. I'm just about to talk. So I think it's dope, like the idea of taking over hashtags and not allowing the narrative like hashtag hip hop for Trump to go where it don't need to go or get no steam and shit like that. But if you remember when Trump first got elected, Kathy Griffin put that picture up of her holding a Trump severed head, and she thought she was going to have the support and have the same kind of backing that you're kind of talking about. And she got like even from all sides, not just right wing. Like people were just like, nah, you can't do that shit. So I think that's what E Green's trying to say too. It's like the whole thing about like him blowing his own brains out is the shocking part. I get why you did it too. The shocking part and
hold up, but that's also a published image in the Times.
But King,
you see what I'm saying? So it's not some.
What you're doing right now is you're giving the general public too much credit, and I'm putting the general public where the fuck the general public is.
Probably.
There are people who saw your shit. There are people that saw that and was like, fuck that.
That's already a popular image. Motherfuckers who read the Time already know what time.
It's with Obama.
Pun intended. It is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not like no one has not seen that image.
Yeah.
I'm saying I just took what was already published in a popular magazine and reposted it and just put my black ass at the bottom.
That shit's interesting though. I used to walk around with this T-shirt with George W. Bush with like a Hitler mustache on it.
Right.
It said "Wanted, Dead or Alive," right?
Right.
And I mean, I was super proud of that shirt. Like wore it everywhere. And then like during the Obama years, I saw the anti-Obama shit and like nooses and all this shit. I was like, damn, like this is I guess I'm just not gonna fuck around with like threatening to kill the president anymore. That was the decision I made like during the Obama years, because I was just like, we can't keep flipping back. Like it's already so toxic, like that dynamic that it doesn't need more. Like, but I mean, anyway, it doesn't mean you need to get killed for posting the photo either. It's just
no, exactly.
Right.
Let me say this though, King. This is me talking now, not fuck the general public. I probably will never send anything with hip hop for Trump on it. I don't give a fuck about taking that fucking hashtag over. Fuck that hashtag. If we're gonna do something, make our own shit and go with it. Because hip hop is not for Trump. You know what they say on JFK? The bigger the lie, the more people believe it. Fuck what you're saying. They see it. Trump, hip hop for Trump, and okay. I just ain't riding with that.
Okay. Okay, fine. My thing is, I see where people are trying to put their racist rhetoric in rap form. That's not what I'm standing for, and this is what's happening with that hashtag. No, not on my watch, nigga, ever. You feel the way you do, respect. That's me. Okay. And I'm really disappointed that there's a lot of motherfuckers that I reached out to and are really too pussy to be like, yo, King,
but I don't know if it's that.
I'm with you. No. Listen. I'm like, look, don't use my image use the hashtag and put up your own protest.
He said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I know.
Oh well, nah. I'm like, all right, nigga, fuck the fuck off then. You know, don't tell me you mad about anything if you're not even willing to put in just this little bit of work behind it. You know what I'm saying? That to me, it's nothing.
But
all you gotta do is
on the other side of that though,
click.
King, can you understand what I'm saying though?
You're fine with me.
Yeah.
You explain it to me.
Okay.
I'm talking about the motherfuckers that are rah with it all the time. I see their posts all the time, and it's like, yo, niggas trying to put your mouth where you're, and then they're like,
King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
the ones that'll say shit like that almost equate to that image that you posted, but then when it's a time to be bad about it, they start punking it.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, you know who I don't think is like that? The homie John Longwalker. What's up, bro? Let's bring him back.
Well, no,
this is like,
John, this is my point. Use your privilege for good, man.
Well, the way I think about shit, I'm always like trying to think about like more. The way I'd love to apply my technology skills would be like teaching or, you know, building some platforms or something like that. Like I always try to think on, you know, more macro, big picture levels, or like in this case, more like substrates and base layers and shit. I mean, it's no secret now that like, I mean, at least as far as I understand it, like the cultural cachet of blackness among the youth is so big. Like when I was when I was growing up, everybody was on MySpace, and then Facebook came around, and it started out with all that college shit. So it started out being a bunch of white people, right? And I actually read like a really interesting article by my girl Wendy Chun, who she basically makes an argument about white flight from MySpace as like a sort of a modern day thing where like, you know, MySpace was you know, everybody was on there, and then at some point it was like all these white people jumped onto Facebook. But I think it's kind of opposite now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the platforms that we choose to use are really important. And if we could get people to care enough that they move to something that actually, you know, we own the content, like, I don't know what happens to all those verses or everything that's streamed on Instagram. Like, you don't own that shit. You can't like take that and release it as an album or, you know, make an MP3 for people to download your DJ set. I mean, like if we had a platform and people actually moved to it and it was the people's platform, it's that build it and they will come thing that doesn't work though. You have to actually have that momentum. Nobody understands. It's like nobody's going to go to that other shit until everyone's already there. That's the paradox. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a certain amount of, you know, if the African American community says I'm not fucking with it anymore, like people listen. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I wonder if we like going forward, like it's different now.
What I want to say to that, just real quick, build it and they will come. Some people want that to exist and don't even know what it is that they want. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Until it shows up. And once it shows up, one person will be like, yo, it's over here. Oh shit, yeah, that shit you was talking about, it's over here. Oh shit, let's go over here. And then, oh hey, that shit's over here. What shit? The shit you was talking about. We was talking about, remember this over there? Oh yeah. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it comes. Yeah. That's how it happens. But you gotta build it first.
Yeah, and honestly, you know what go ahead. Finish,
I was just gonna say real quick. What you just said, I didn't even have a mindset for that kind of thing. Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was like, oh shit, that's a great idea. Build it.
All right, yeah.
I think a good example literally just happened, and although it's not a platform like for the people, by the people, like what you're talking about, but it's what happened with TikTok and how all these TikTok influencers, all these, you know, young kids, they all started putting up TikTok videos saying, here's how you can make a reservation to get a ticket for Donald Trump's rally. And so mad people got tickets with no intention of going at all, just to take up the ticket space to help basically make his rally be a flop. Now think about this shit, bro. Think about this shit for a second. This motherfucker said, I'm going to do a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Fucking
the
asshole.
place of the fucking Black Wall Street.
On
Then
the
he
day
said,
up.
I'm going to do it on Juneteenth. He changed it because he got so much heat for that, but he wouldn't change the city. So he changed it to the day after. But he was going to do it on Juneteenth, right? He had the nerve to even say, look how I'm the one who made Juneteenth popular. Nobody even knew about it. I was like, man. But point being is people were like, fuck that shit. And they organized on a platform.
Yeah.
And they all were doing it like real systematically. They all booked it, and then you see the results. It was a 19,000 seat arena, and 6,000 people only showed up. If you see the pictures, there's mad empty seats everywhere.
Yeah. But he could say it's sold out.
What's that?
He could say it's sold out.
He was saying it. He was saying there's over 1 million people who reserved seats, and they made an outdoor overflow spot for a bunch of people to come through and everything and the shit. You know?
See?
Yeah, but you know, they're starting to use that as evidence that Democrats can't be trusted with mail-in voting now.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Come on, man.
Yeah.
They're always going to tweak it out.
I know, man. Like the jumps of logic are so absurd, man. I mean,
very absurd. Very absurd.
I mean, the whole idea of like, I mean, that's some shit that I get tired of. Like, I mean, like, look, people don't even know, but in 2004, like, that shit was stolen too, like really blatantly stolen. They routed that shit.
Yeah, Florida.
They routed the election results to a bunker in West Virginia. The guy was subpoenaed by there was a whole thing like the equivalent of like Ken Starr or whatever, like the Mueller investigation.
Right.
The New York Times ran one piece on it announcing its existence. Didn't even run the piece when they concluded and said, yeah, it was fucking stolen. And that guy who did the routing, his plane fell out of the sky the weekend before he was going to show up for his subpoena.
Of course it did. That shit, I remember that. Like, when I saw that shit happen you're talking about Bush and Florida and all that, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's like you go to bed. Both those elections, you went to bed. It's like, all right, Florida was blue. You know, Ohio was blue. You wake up, it's like, nah. Sorry.
I think they even announced that Bush had lost the state at first too, and then they recanted it, right?
And if you remember this in 2012, Karl Rove was sitting on TV saying, "Nah, you can't call that state yet. Don't call it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the look on his face when it got called, he was like flummoxed, man.
That
because it wasn't supposed to go down that way.
That shit reminded me. I remember being a kid watching WWF when it was called WWF. And it was a battle royale, and I let's say it was Hulk Hogan that was supposed to win. I don't really remember, but they was doing their thing. You know, fools get thrown out the ring, they're eliminated, whatever. This motherfucker accidentally got thrown out the ring, and you know the script. The script was he was supposed to win, right? So they just stopped. They're like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" Right? There's like two motherfuckers in the ring, like, what? They just literally stopped the shit, and then they were like, and they just made up a quick bullshit, like, because of this, these guys are eliminated. This guy's the winner, and like just went straight to like their winner instead of just shuffling. So it was the most ridiculous shit. Like we all saw this motherfucker fall out, and nothing else happened but shit that is within the rule book. Yo, what are y'all talking about? But they're like, that can't be who wins. And so that Bush shit that you brought up from 2004 always reminded me of that shit. I'm like, you know, and it was coming at a time too, like our age group, like people who came up in the 90s and shit, mad apathetic to government, to, you know, this shit is all bullshit, they're all corrupt, blah, blah, blah. And in a lot of ways, I still feel that way. But seeing that shit, we're just like, see? It's like fucking WWF in this bitch, yo.
Right.
Motherfucker got thrown out the ring and they're like, wait, Bush wins. Everybody's disqualified, leave.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a funny shit.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about your music before we dive too far into politics, man. So what's going on with your music? You made a banging ass beat for my shit, for sure.
Yeah, man.
You got a unanimous vote on your shit.
Yo, that was crazy, man. Like, Guys, I mean, the feedback you gave me on that was, I still listen to that episode, man. Because it just like, I mean, yo, King, no shit, man. Like, I was like, yo, if this beat could just make King say something like, like, and then you're like in there like, oh shit, I was like, exactly. I was like,
yeah, man.
Oh, that's dope.
That was undeniable. That was undeniable.
No, I was bugging though. I did not know that, like, and based on the feedback, I should have realized that, I was maybe going to make it, but especially when the other Cobra Clutch was called that, I was like, and I was emotionally just like really wrapped up in it, man. I don't even know. I kept thinking that the podcast was coming out on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday, or, I mean, like, I don't even remember. I was setting up like listening parties, and then like you guys forgot to play the beats, and I don't know. It's hilarious. But fine.
Man, I wish you'd have tackled Cool Whip.
Man, I'm glad I didn't though, because then I wouldn't have made it.
Bro, and you would have got dissed too, because King was not nice to nobody who tackled Cool Whip. He was hard on him.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
No, but you know what's...
Keep it real, whatever you feel.
I wanted to ask E Green about this actually, because the inspiration for that beat was sitting down. I wanted to make some like Schoolie D type shit. Like I wanted to take some real simple ingredients and have it hit like that. Well, E Green, what do you think? Is there like a Philly style to you, like of beat making?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Philly is basically known from its history for having DJs.
Right.
DJs.
Yo, Cash Money.
Yes, no doubt. But some of the producers and stuff, there was kind of like the Hilltop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Steady B and Cool C in them, that whole era. 3 Times Dope. There was a sound.
Yeah.
But it's not really. It doesn't really resonate. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good MCs, obviously DJs, Jazzy Jeff, and so on and so on.
Yeah. But
I don't know if right now, and forgive me because I am stupid jet lag, yo. I'm here. But I don't think there's like outside of what I already just said, I don't think there's a Philly sound anymore, as in hip hop.
Right.
Everything is one fucking thing. It's Atlanta.
Yeah. I guess because if I was gonna try to boil it down, it's like that, like Can't Stop, Won't Stop by the Young Guns. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When it gets to that level of just like that kind of like almost like wood blocks or some shit, and like some reverb and
right.
I don't know. I guess if I was gonna paint it, I would say it was like that. But yeah.
Well, what I wanted to ask you, E Green, isn't neo soul the Philly sound? Like, didn't it start with Jazzy Jeff and kind of
neo soul is more Jill Scott and them. What's that?
They're not Philly.
Music Soul Child.
Music Soul Child.
That's not Philly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Philly. Yes.
So, but what I'm saying is, it was influenced. I don't know. I always thought, because I watched hip hop during that time, I could hear it in the sound, like in Jazzy Jeff's sound a little bit, and then I just felt like the R&B cats from then were just kind of picking up from what Jazzy Jeff was doing.
Well, there's no doubt, because
Jazzy
Jeff stretches throughout music. He's not just.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
out through genres, yo. So he's just so talented and so in tune with the music, like historically, that he definitely probably is an influence to that, because he has a very soulful sound. You listen to Mick Boogie on those mixtapes. I don't know if they're doing recently. They usually do the summer joints. But when they do their that sound, that's that shit you're talking about, King.
I think John, he's hearing kind of what he's hearing in the same way, maybe in a different line, but in the same way that I was thinking when I would listen to anything coming out of Philly. There was always this, and I was hearing the soul.
Right.
Like there was just this smooth soul, sultry, no matter what it was. You know what I mean? If it was the Roots or whatever, it was always this sultry, like.
That goes all the way back to Gamble and Huck, yo.
Huh?
That goes all the way back to the sound of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Right.
Huff in them. So we
Gamble
don't
and Huff
too, but yeah, that Gamble and Huff. Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely. I didn't say Procter and Gamble, did I?
Nah, you good. You said it right.
Who did you say?
That goes back to Procter and Gamble, yo, because
Right,
they're
no
using
shouts.
Q-tips in their ears and shit.
So wait, let me back up though. So I like one of the things that I regret about, not regret, but I wish that I had been raised in a house of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I had to find my own way there, and it's crazy, man. Pennsylvania is some fucked up. It's fucked up, man. Like it's just a weird ass place, man. Like I moved there and I had my head buzzed. All of a sudden, I'm getting called a neo-Nazi. I'm like, I didn't even know what the fuck. Like, there's Nazis here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and it's like, and then everybody's just like, yeah, where are you from? And I'm like, Colorado. They're like, nah, like, where's your grandparents from? I'm like, South Carolina. It's like, my family's been in this country for a long ass time. And everybody's like, nah, man, I'm talking like, you're Irish, right? Or German or whatever. It's just like, everything was so tribalized over there. But
these are other white guys talking to you?
Yeah.
Got it.
And so anyway, there was a moment where it was like, nah, man, that's black music. Like, this is white music. That's black music. And crazy shit, man. Like, these kids, like, didn't even, like, try to tell them, like, yo, Rage Against the Machine, these guys are communists. And, like, nah, that's crazy. It's like, here's him on MTV with a hat that says commie on it. Like, you believe me now? Oh, I'm going to throw out my CDs. Like, so crazy, man. And, like, the only shit that they, you know, it's like the Beastie Boys, but that's it. It's like, doesn't go over the line, you know? And it's like, I'm so glad that I just said, fuck all that and, you know, start buying Parliament records. And
there you go.
You know, like, but still, it took me a while to get into that rap shit. And then, you know, finally around 19 or 18, like, I'm out with my buddy and I don't know, he just started freestyling over the summer. He's like, nah, man, you gotta just start freestyling, blah, blah, blah. And I got so high off of that shit. Like the peak, that feel of the peak when you hit that peak rhyme and everything's just flowing, you know? I started chasing that. And it got like, turned into a spiritual thing for me. So, you know, like basically like if I figured it doesn't matter if this ever turns into something that makes a impact outside of my own life, because by learning to freestyle, I'm hopefully going to be better at speaking my mind in any given situation, you know? And then on top of that, just the feeling of like, almost like communion with something outside yourself when you're like, you're not even thinking, but these words are just landing, you know?
Yep. It's a thing to experience. Yeah.
But I didn't start producing until like 7 years ago. And that was basically, I had hit a wall, like, because the rapping wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, in the sense that, I mean, I wasn't doing anything. I was still waiting for a producer, you know, like waiting for my my Jazzy Jeff or my DJ Premier or whatever. And at one point it was getting dark. Like and then Kendrick's album came out and that shit is like so dope. And I heard so much of like, you know, my dreams in there, like that Backseat Freestyles joint. Like, I mean, like, and I'm not even to compare like my skill versus his or anything, but just the aesthetics, the topics, the kind of attitude towards writing music. Like I saw everything reflected in like how I wanted to do, but I'm like, I'm already fucking 30, you know, it's like my life's over kind of feeling and shit. And then my wife was like, yo, please, you're always talking about this shit. Just buy yourself some studio gear. She didn't know what she was doing when she said that. But like, no, it should basically saved my life, you know?
She said buy some studio gear, and she hasn't seen me since. We got a divorce the next year.
Yeah, man.
She's real supportive of it. But yeah, man, it's been a long journey. But like that production style thing, it's just, I'm finally feeling like I'm at a level where I can really share it. I mean, I cooked that thing up for you in like, 3 days or something.
Great. That's dope. I love it.
That's good.
That's still my favorite shit off that EP, bro.
You should promote it more then.
You don't be
Nice.
checking my stories. I can see he don't be checking my stories.
Yo, your stories be like 20 entries long, bro.
Oh,
Hey, and you know,
But
if you
anyway,
listen, one or two of them might have had that Cobra Clutch remix.
all right. Now you'll see me in there. You'll see me in there.
You're gonna get posted this week, bro. We're gonna post you up this week because you're on the pod.
hi Nesto.
Mad love.
I know.
Nesto's been quiet.
Nesto's been
Quiet.
mad quiet, bro. You good, Nesto? We love you, bro.
Nigga, y'all on the highway. I ain't trying to jump in on foot in the middle of cars coming like this. Peace to that. I know
Hey,
what
we
that's
giving you
like.
the lane right now. Nesto, you got the lane.
Y'all done switched off to other shit, dude. I'm just riding. I'm coasting. I'll get in where I fit in. One question I have for you though, John, is did you give up on rapping? Like you're not rapping no more?
No. So it's funny though because the production thing really like. All right, so I'll put it like this: before I got the gear, I was like any party I was at, I just start freestyling. Like at some point, I would get to a, and then people would be trying like it would be cool for like 10 minutes, but people would try to have a conversation with me, and I'd be like responding in some like rap form, like metaphors and shit. Like, do you want to leave? Like, I might leave with you, but not until whatever. Like, stupid shit, and it was almost like pathological, like I couldn't turn it off. But as soon as I started making that music, it gave me that outlet. And then to a certain extent, like I wasn't even making rap music at the beginning. I was just like, I mean, the beats always have like a, break feel to it, but I was just going really deep into instrumental shit. To answer that question, I do still rap, but for me, the whole idea of rapping, like if I like, it's got to be, each word has to fucking count. Like I don't, if I'm going to make an album, like it's going to be maybe like 30 to 40% bars and the rest like instruments and experience, because it's just, I don't know, man, sitting down and listening to 16 songs of somebody rapping, you know what I mean? Like it's got to be a good album for that. And so for me, it's like maybe you'll hear it coming up, but I went from like basically saying way too many words, freestyling all the fucking time, to now only doing like real strict refinement work and stuff like that. But the main project I'm working on right now isn't even directly rap related. It's called We Are Not Sick, and it's with my mentor Gert Lovink, who he's a critical media guy over here, critical media theorist. He's basically been calling bullshit on the internet since the 90s. Like everybody was like, oh, it's gonna be great, it's gonna make everybody more intelligent, bring everyone together, and he's like, I don't know if it will be so simple, like. And so he's real far thinking on that, and that's gonna come out, and that's more like really experimental. We got a hip hop track on there, a house track, some more ambient type shit. Anyway, so that side over there, but then I want to get, like, I'm trying to get to that point, and maybe this is sort of kicking myself out the door, and using Merz's metaphor. I'm up on that porch. I'm knocking on the fucking door, guys. I want in, So, so I'm ready. But for me, like, what I want to say through raps, like, I don't have like it's always more condensed than expansive, if that makes sense. Unless I start freestyling, then I can just go for whatever.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Well, I can relate to that. I used to rap too, and made a transition to just doing strictly beats, and something for me that's more gratifying for that. It connects with more people,
right?
Than getting up and trying to spit a 16 on top of beats I made.
Right.
I
Yeah.
rather give it to better MCs now.
Yeah. So what do you think, Cook? Should we fire this shit up?
Hey, I'm down if you're down. So start letting us know about. I'm gonna do the screen share, and you let us know what this track is and what.
All right. So this one's called The Calling, and on the hook, I wrote this whole joint. On the hook, you'll hear my girl Sunite. We're working together now. So we got this crew, FYS front, funk yo stupid front. And yeah, I mean, this is sort of like my a love poem to hip hop. We could put it that way. It's also sort of putting my foot down, saying like, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's check it out. It's called The Calling, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. I think, hold on. Let me reload the page. It's acting funny.
I'm an old man.
Oh, what's up? It was playing. All right, fellas?
That's some anticlimactic shit right there.
I'm sitting here watching Cookbook with the cursor on the, and I'm like a cat following it like.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, there you go.
F-Y-S. Well, the name's Johnny C, but you can call me Cheesy. Yeah, see, cause me and the Mike be like peanut butter and jelly. We go together, plus skill with these spreads be leading to happy bellies. But words are meaningless without a central thrust. So just know that Johnny Buzz so fat for the raw fact that a goddess stole his tongue and wouldn't give it back. Unless I give the rest of my life to rap. Well, brother, I'm alright with that.
When she came calling, I knew there was no turning back. Wherever I go, I'll ride to her name on the map, drawing her name with my back. Shoulders to see bars, pushing for hip hop. And oh, when she came calling, I knew there was no turning back. Wherever I go, I'll ride to her name on the map, drawing her name with my back. Shoulders to see bars, pushing for hip hop, and the greed of all that.
Hip hop, the goddess she keeps giving. Y'all must be kidding with what you take without putting back. Hip hop, the goddess she called me. Y'all can't remove me. The closer it grew me, the rhythm it blew me away. And when I pasted my brains, arteries and veins back together again, something different pumped throughout my system. Listen, hip hop's my goddess, and that'll never change. Listen. It ain't all on me, I'm just following my calling here at the dawn of our new religion. Hip-hop's that goddess will never stop giving.
She called me.
Check what you take, cuz. Only baby won't make love. So check what you take.
All right, hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it there. The whole song will be on the pod.
No problem.
I'll put the whole thing, but so we can get back to the discussion.
Yeah.
So that was The Calling.
That's The Calling, man. And there's an empty verse on there. I don't know if you noticed that, Cook, if you heard it before.
Hey. Is that an invitation?
It is. It is, in fact. Well, you know, and you owe me already.
I know. You're right.
So that means what you're saying is you want Nesto to write that last verse.
Come on, Nesto, get up on there.
That's okay. Yeah.
Nesto has done some rapping in his
One day
past.
I'm gonna slide in and blow everyone away.
Maybe this is your opportunity. So my first feeling on that track is it's really, and I feel it's 100% intentional, like a real old school feel to that, like real old school.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Because it captured it.
Yeah, that's what I felt. Yeah, I like it. I like the second verse better than the first.
Oh,
it's sort of the more spoken word kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you came in stronger on that one. I like that. But it was good. I like that feel. Now let me ask you this: where you live, like, how does all that? Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to hear from everybody else too. But I wanted to ask you, like, because I was thinking about, like, what is that like in Amsterdam, like, because we don't know the music scene exactly how it is over there. Are you hearing tracks like that, or are you coming with some original, even in your area?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not really, that song is definitely not directly inspired by any kind of shit that I'm hearing around here. I mean, what's interesting about Amsterdam is that, like, when I first moved here 11 years ago, Jesus, yeah, like rap was a lot less common, or it was seen as a lot more just like blanket sort of judged by its worst lyrics, or it's like, oh yeah, that's misogynist music or whatever. I mean, the truth is, in Europe, the music you hear is way less likely to have vocals in general. And so, like, what's crazy is, like, you go to like a bowling alley, and it's fucking techno and house music and shit. I mean, like, you'd expect some Leonard Skinner or some shit. You know what I mean? It's just a real cognitive dissonance when you go someplace like that. So in terms of hip hop, though, it's definitely opened up a lot in the last few years. And you'll still hear, like, what's cool is you'll hear old school shit, like, not old school, but Biggie blasting out of Windows, and so there's like kind of almost like a reinvestigation of hip hop, like, as a whole. So it's not really stuck on any given moment, but the new shit all just sounds like trap, like it usually does everywhere, But there's even kids are now maybe more open to it. There's this guy named Lil Kleina, which means little small guy, little small, Lil Kleina, and he has a track called Drunk and Drugs, and that's just pretty funny, and that made a big splash, and sort of now there's more hip hop on the air.
Drunk and drugs, is that like drink and drugs?
Supposed to be drinking drugs.
Drunk and drugs.
Drunk and drugs.
Anybody else?
It's a hilarious video. If you guys pull it up one time, like, you'll enjoy it. I'll post it on the lounge.
Yeah, I'll put it on the lounge. Anybody else want to chime in?
Go ahead, Nesto.
I thought it was dope. I'm more of I come from a standpoint of how you hear things and how you see things being a strong impact. And I'm not one that usually, how can I say, like sample stuff that I think would be impacting or really, really dope in a casual way. Like, everybody that's listening to this will hear that the way that it was meant to be. They'll, because Cookbook is going to put in the actual track and be able to, like, oh, dope, right. Headphones or whatever. As much as I seem like an overzealous clown whenever I post, man, you got to watch this on a screen or on a da-da-da-da, and I'm so hardcore with that. I'm the same way with music. When someone sends me something, I'm headphones and I'm like vibing out. This is difficult for me, but people that constantly consume music and know music and make music, it seems to all blend and is very easy. It's hard for me because it's all like it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like a spiritual thing for me. Like, I really get closed off. If someone is sending me something, if it's a trailer, if it's anything that means something to them, I want to give it that type of attention. I don't casually watch or look at something real quick on the phone that someone is very serious about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm saying listening to this and having it cut off midway and then, going to it's tough for me. I thought it was dope, but I didn't get a chance to really get into it and vibe the way that I would want to personally.
Right.
But I'm different. I don't represent the majority of people, because niggas listen and watch stuff 3 seconds at a time. They feel like they got the whole thing. Somebody says, watch a movie. They watch 5 minutes of it. They're like, yeah, bro, I kind of saw that. It's like everybody nowadays, it's so like this with them. And they really, some of them do. It's enough for them to get the impact that they need. I'm just not like that. So me, I'm going to have to re-listen and soak it in like a whole different way. But I thought it was dope.
I appreciate that.
From what I did here, I thought it was dope. Was that you rapping?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was you rapping?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay, nice. I didn't know if that was somebody else or what, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude.
thanks, man.
You got a great voice, bro. I like that. Yeah.
Nestor, you're not.
Thank you.
You're not the only one who feels like that, though, dude. When it comes to like music and shit like that, like I'm. It breaks my heart to have to do a screen share and have it come through that way, because, like, even when we do it like live, when we're all in the same room, like say for Who Wore It Best or whatever, it's always like, E Green, bring that little speaker, like. I need some bass in the room, you know. Even though we've all heard the songs we're about to listen to, like I hate like the phone speakers and shit. Like, hey, check my shit out. Like, let me put some headphones on.
Oh my God!
If I'm playing something for somebody, I am like, yo, put headphones on, bro. I'm not gonna push play on my phone.
I'm gonna tell you that's my one pet peeve when I used to work for Low End Theory, man. Motherfuckers coming up with their phones.
Just playing it out the phone speakers, like, damn, bro. Come on.
Bro, can you send it to me? Because I'm gonna listen to it in some proper speakers.
With all that said, may I?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know I love you. You know that. We friends on all kind of fucking platforms and shit, right? I'm gonna always keep it what? A billion.
Real.
100. A billion.
Billion. So
1,000. Wow.
This is and keeping it a billion. I know it don't mean shit after I say it, because somebody else can say whatever they say and it is what it is. But since we're listening and you ask for our opinions, I can't help but give my real honest opinion. And it is this. When I first heard it, I heard the beat and I was like 1985. I heard the beat. I was like, okay. He took it back, like you had mentioned. You got the old school, Schoolie D. I heard 1980, and not because you said that, because I heard it through this fucking MacBook. I heard it. Like you said, I'm an audiophile for real. First and foremost, I'm a fucking, whether these guys that rap, make music, make movies, whatever the fuck, I'm an audiophile, yo. So it's already at a disadvantage that I had to listen to it like this. But I'm not saying it was whack. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I probably hearing it, like if I had heard it like on this, just without us all doing this, if I heard it, I'd have probably clicked it off. And not because it was whack, but because it just didn't resonate. When I tell you that I've been listening to hip hop since like 1978, and the evolution of hip hop, the evolution of it to the point of where it is now, we could do a whole show on that. But I think that I just after the remix of Cookbook Song, I expected something else.
Yeah, fair enough.
Something else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I will listen to it again, how I need to hear it, right? Whether my ears are in the whip banging, I will definitely listen to it and give it a more critical ear. But off the first, I'm like, I just need more. I need more.
Yeah, I hear you.
I get the minimalist beat. I get the hook. I get what you were saying. But I just didn't feel like it was remarkable. And I'm not trying to be off that, what's that, Simon shit.
Simon Cowell.
Remarkable. I didn't feel it was remarkable. It didn't pull me in.
Gotcha.
Like for instance, and I'm not comparing you to Sky Zoo at all. I'm not doing that. You are who you are. He is who he is. But on the flight back, somebody had sent me the Sky Zoo album. As soon as I turned that motherfucker on, I was like, oh shit. And I was like that the whole way through the EP, right? But I would probably try to go to the next track to see what else you had on that. This just being real. But I want to hear it again with the full music and full good sound. So I'm going to definitely do that. And I will tell you after I do that.
All right.
I may have a whole different opinion, but just right now I was like, yeah, I feel it, but it didn't pull me in. I wouldn't put that on a Hip Hop Digest show.
Fair enough. All right, no, I mean that's my criteria right here. So like that's good feedback, man. But yeah, I mean, like it was definitely meant to have that old school vibe. I mean, like that's why I'm rapping about peanut butter and shit. You know what I mean? Like, but and because that's also, and it's not sample based or anything, so it's got its own. I mean, that's the aesthetic that I love, you know. I mean, it's tough to hear. It's tough to hear though, because in that sense, like it's like nobody loves that 85 shit, and it's like, yo,
wrong. All right. Because as soon as you said Schoolie D, I was in.
Right.
As soon as you said
this isn't a Schoolie D influenced track for sure though.
Yeah.
But no, that's great. That's great feedback, man. And I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say when you get the round out. Also, I should point out this is demo mode right now.
Of course.
It's it's not mixed, and it's mixed as I made it, but it's not pro or anything.
I never made a record in my motherfucking life. First and foremost, right? So I appreciate what goes into that shit, right?
Right.
But if we talking about hip hop, I fucking am the embodiment of that shit. Right. So that's where the comments come from.
Man, I love it.
Not from disrespecting you doing that shit at all, because I never made a record. So
no, man, you love that. You loved my last beat, so it's all good. Man. It's all good.
E Green, don't trip, bro. The title of his email was "I want all the smoke." So he's
You
know what I'm saying?
It's just a simple fucking opinion.
I want to, and it's. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to, just for the sake of time, I just want to get in my quick 2 cents. So I just listening to it, I appreciate what you did, because you absolutely did capture that 85, like that 1984. I would even say like the end of 83, 84, 85. It was kind of like that you did it very well. And for that, you caught my ear, even with it being kind of lo-fi and everything. I heard all the ideas that were woven into it. It's interesting that Cookbook likes the second verse. I like the first verse best. And maybe because it has more of a rap structure to it.
Right.
And the singing that your girl did on it is very interesting.
She's
not
good.
You know what I'm saying? It's not conventional. We're going to the party. Right. She did some like floaty kind of shit, which is kind of, it was for me. It's something that I would have enjoyed coming from 85. If somebody was just going off the grid a little bit, like, yeah, this is rap music, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this weird shit on the hook. So I felt like you kind of captured that, which for me, I dug it. You know what I mean? Nice. I would love to hear it on a system though. Like,
and you will.
Yeah.
You can forward that link along, or I can send it.
I will.
Or something.
I'll forward it to everybody.
Hey, mechanics, you know what it is. You're listening to the Felipe's Garage podcast, the hottest podcast in these streets.
The name's Johnny C, but you can call me Cheesy. Yeah, see, cause me and the mic be like peanut butter and jelly. We go together, plus skill with these spreads be leading to happy bellies. But words are meaningless without a central thrust, so just know that Johnny Bus.